Welcome to Trading Made Easy, the channel that helps you to navigate the financial markets on a weekly basis. Last week, we expected the dollar to weaken across the board. We expected euro dollar to test 110. That's exactly what has happened. And this week, we expect the same price action to continue to unfold. We expect euro dollar to test 111. Anyway, let's delve straight into Bloomberg and let's look at the chart and see what they are telling us. So the chart that you've got here is a chart of euro dollar. The curve that you see at the bottom are either slow-moving stochastics or slow-moving averages. And the little numbers that you see at the top is an indicator called DMARC indicators that gives you an idea of trend exhaustion. And what you're seeing here for euro dollar is that on a daily picture, it feels as if they're still very much looking higher. We have had a little bit of a correction overnight. We went down to 110.13, but we think that the picture for this week is very much bullish. We think that euro dollar will test 111. If you look at the Kiwi dollar or the Aussie dollar, let me put the chart up now, it's also looking quite constructive. Kiwi dollar and Aussie dollar, similarly, have corrected a little bit overnight. You see here we are back towards 163, just through 63 Kiwi dollar. We think that after a bit of consolidation, we're going to be trying higher. In my introduction, I really wanted to show you a chart that I think is really interesting for this week, and it's the chart of euro yen. So euro yen tested 120 last week. It failed on the first test. It's euro 120 is a really big level if you look at the charts. However, once again, the slow stochastics and the long stochastics are still hinting at a picture of higher level. So you see the shape here, it's a very interesting shape here. We bounced off really nicely around the 117 level. Look at the DMARC indicators showing you trend exhaustion at that level. And then the slow stochastics and the moving averages have turned upwards. We tested the 120 levels. It feels as if the next level is 121.25, 122, and I think, aside from if the market was inundated by bad news over the next week or so, I think that the market is going to be looking to go higher towards 125, 121.25, 122. A quick look at the emerging market currencies because we've had some big move last week. Let's look at the chart of dollar South Africa, dollar rand. Once we breached 15 last week, dollar rand has been a one-way market lower. Look at the impulsive move to 15 last week. Here it feels as if you look once again at the slow stochastics and the moving averages, there is definitely some downside space. However, today it feels like the market wants to consolidate a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised that we try back towards 1490, 1495, but then over the next week or two, I think that would definitely go in lower. I'm going to draw you a little line here that we are, if you look at the chart here, we are really, I think, targeting that 1450 level. So in general, it's a picture that is quite negative for the dollar, and we should see the dollar weaken both in the G10 and in the EM space. Looking at oil prices, I'm going to put the crude light contract here, CL1 on Bloomberg, and it was very interesting. And this is where indicators such as the ones that I put together on my charts can paint a really strong story. So oil came down at the end of August and early September. You see the really impulsive move lower that we saw in oil prices. However, we had signs of trend exhaustion. Look at how oversold we were on this chart here. And we had some exhaustion turns with when you look at the DMARC indicators. And we said last week that we thought that contract, the CL1 contract, the crude light contract, would head towards 54. We actually breached that level. If you look at the bigger picture here, I think the next big level to the upside is 56, possibly 50, yeah, between 56 and 57.20. And so that's the level that I will really focus on for oil prices. Now, getting away from the charts and looking at what will move the market next week. Obviously, the US calendar, we've got retail sales coming up. It will be published on the 16th at midday UK time. What's interesting with retail sales here is the market is looking for some fairly robust data. If you look at the advanced number, expecting to print at 0.3 month on month according to the Bloomberg survey. That is how you can look at the trend of late. We are very well off the lows that we saw in 08-09, showing that the consumer is still quite healthy in the US. If you look at Germany, Tuesday morning we've got the ZEW survey. It's not indicated as strong as the IFO. The ZEW survey is really a survey of economists, and therefore I would somewhat disregard the data to a certain extent. But the market is looking for some fairly soft reading. The one thing I'd like to point out as well is that we've got a lot of earning releases, starting with JP Morgan tomorrow. And if you look at all the main heavyweight in the financials will be announcing their earnings this week. Then we also get Netflix, Coke, Johnson & Johnson. So quite a few key earnings releases that the market will be looking at. And then finally, as we approach the weekend, we get the today Brexit or Brussels meeting where Brexit is going to be discussed. Anyway, this is really my weekly outlook for this week, where I expect the dollar to continue weakening into the end of the week. If you like this comment and if you like this video, please click on like. Please follow me. I'll be absolutely delighted as I've just started, and I'll be very happy for some feedback as well. Thank you very much. Bye bye.